Hello there and welcome. Well, it's 6 o'clock, so you know what's going to happen. We are launching a brand new one-day special. It's an amazing deal. Details are already up on the screen, and we were selling before we even started the show, so we know it's going to be a popular one. Of course, it's John next door, so naturally we know it's going to be a popular one-day special. And of course, naturally, guess who's next door? It's only John.
Hello.
Hello, you all right? I love it.
I know, I never know what sex it does feel like that. With the window, it do feel like we're living next door to each other.
It does, yeah. Like it's peering through the patio window, and it's not at all creepy.
No.
And now, of course, a one-day special. The details are on your screen. If you're wanting to get involved, you can do. We've got a series of brand new dies, John.
We have. This is the very first John Next Door collection launched for 2022.
Okay.
I haven't launched anything brand new in the John Next Door collection since October.
October? Wow, is it that long?
Yeah,
My
we all know
goodness.
how long things are taking. I mean,
Well,
to be
that's
honest,
true.
you know, some of these will actually landed in the UK on Friday.
Wow, still warm
That's
then.
how warm these are. We've flown these in specially. We didn't want to do it. And I'm going to say I love them, and I always do, and I feel like thing when I'm saying that, but this to me is something else to add to the John Next Door collection.
Okay.
I've never done edges. I've never done edger dies.
I don't remember you seeing these edges, the style of die, shall I say?
Not the style, and I wanted some, it was literally, they're called canard edges.
Okay.
Because I was asked by Mrs. Duck for over 2 years to do them.
It takes a
and
while.
she's one of my best friends and one of our angels.
Yes.
And it takes a while to do it, but I wanted to do something different.
Okay.
If you look at that first one, the top one.
So this one
there,
here, yeah.
Yeah, that's one die that does all of that.
Oh, so it's cut, right, so it's cut both.
It cuts both and puts those dots in. You go down, you actually see there's a plain die, that's a separate die. Because the thing that's really annoyed me about edger dies in the past is getting the edge and then trying to tape on the decorative bit.
Yes.
And then trying to tape on the other, life's too short.
Yes.
So I've tried to make it as easy as possible, but the other thing you'll notice if you look at the board and you see the swirl, it's not computer generated, I drew it.
Right, okay, fair
it's
enough.
not even, it's not a yin and yang, it's not being done with lots of circles and things. I sat and drew that line and that's what we based it on.
Fabulous.
But every single one you're looking at here is a separate die. So you're getting the top and the bottom, but it's just one single die that's literally cut out. Each of those 6 squares is one of the 6 dies in the canard edges thing.
And that's just one set
It is
within
one set. And the one thing I have to say thank you to is the original idea and the name comes from Mrs. Duck.
Yes.
But it was Maxine, one of the other angels, who suggested she'd like a die that cuts and makes it pretty top and bottom. She said, I want a die that cuts the edge, pretty top and bottom, go and do it.
I love it.
So that's where it came from.
They're so good, those angels. But as we mentioned, one day special, that's just one of the die sets. Almost 20% of the stock has gone of this one day special. I've only shown you one die set, my goodness. This one's a useful one, celebrations.
It is. I love this. And again, this was something that so many people have asked me to do. I did the champagne bottle, I did the large champagne bottle and the small one. But nothing small enough for cards that we send every day.
That's true,
So this has been designed to work beautifully on small as 5x5 cards.
Nice.
And you can, this is just card, cut and shading. I'm going to demo this.
Okay.
And remember, there is a video for each of these dies. There's actually 3 for the new Anemone Flower.
Oh, okay, right.
On YouTube that go live at 6 o'clock tonight.
Oh, okay,
so if you want to see how that bottle's done or anything, there's a video for each one. And then we move on to the anemones.
I never know which way around to do this one. I think I'll hold it that way.
I can spell it. I cannot pronounce it. Anemone.
I just want to say do at the end of it.
Yeah, and this is on one of my plates again. But the plate will give you 8 individual sets of petals.
Okay.
In 4 sizes, each one sized 5mm down, so that when you pile them up together, you will get 4 flowers from one A6 piece of card.
Wow.
And if you can you see the lines in that?
Yes.
They are cut lines, not score lines.
Right.
And that means that if you know how we sit there for hours with a ball tool and we're shaping flowers. I wanted to make them easy. People loved it when I put some cut lines in the cornflower because it made them easy to shape. You can shape these in so many different ways without having to have any skill. It's so
love
easy.
It. They're just so beautiful. I mean, look at that. Bringing this one in here, showing you how amazing they are. But of course, those cut lines kind of represented with this one here. I mean, this one, it almost looks like you've got a little kind of sweet pea flower
there. It does,
there.
but that doesn't look the same flower as the first one.
No, it doesn't. It looks totally different because, of course, I've got so many different things to show you here. They're all tumbling around. But those, exactly the same flowers, but totally different look with regards to them. Nearly a quarter of the stock has gone now. Now, of course, I'm going to pop those ones down there out of the way as I bring in the last board to share with you. And this kind of shows you different combinations.
It does, yeah. So this, I've got to thank Helen Jones for doing these. Helen Jones did this board, and I said, could you do me a few of your different flowers?
Yes.
And she sent me bags of them.
Okay.
I've got 5 bags left, Helen. I couldn't fit them all on. But to me, to have one die that does all of these, and they all look in the same colour, they all look so different.
Yeah.
The way they've been shaped and moved, and that's before we've started rolling them, inking through the die, inking the edges. That's just them cut and folded. And Helen loves her flowers.
Yes.
And I mean this in a really nice way. Helen makes the most beautiful flowers so simply.
Yes, yeah.
And I think
that's quite a
anyone
clever
at
thing
home
to do.
can achieve
Yeah.
it. You know, we can all spend hours rolling and ball tooling, but we want them done right.
Now, can we talk about this board?
We can.
So, we've got obviously the different elements that we've been talking about. Don't forget, with regards to these, you've actually got a saving, but you've also got a download that's available as well.
We have, yeah. This was done very quickly. You've got the card there.
Yes.
I received this sample from one of our wonderful angels, Art Angel. And I saw that and I went, that is beautiful. I said, that is so gorgeous. How have you made the bottle? She said, I hadn't coloured them.
Wow.
And I showed them to Jane. This was on Sunday of last week. So this
I
was a
didn't
week
realise
ago.
it all came together so
This was
quickly.
a week ago.
Wow.
And I said to Jane, wouldn't it be great if we could have that available for people who perhaps don't... I couldn't colour like that. I'm not going to pretend I could.
Definitely not.
So I sent them on Monday to Art Angel, and she sent me back these 2 sheets that she's hand-coloured for you. So these have been hand-coloured, each one to be like a different wine, spirit, or a potion bottle.
Yes, that's a
or
good
anything.
idea, yeah.
So these are a free exclusive download here on the craft store. If you buy the ODS, you will have this file in your account on your confirmation email.
Right.
However, at the moment, you need to print this out at about 105%.
Right, okay.
But tomorrow, I'm working with IT to see if we can just stretch it a little bit.
Got you.
So you can print it at 100%, so you don't have to mess about.
Sometimes, yeah, when you email the things across, they kind of
they
do
go
weird
a little
things,
bit.
don't they?
I've got examples here to show you, but I mean, basically...
Well, to be honest, if you're downloading it and printing it off, you're not going to have the die to use anyway yet, are you?
You're not.
So wait till you've got the die.
But if you download it, basically, that's what you'll get, yeah? But can you see, at the moment, that bottle's a little bit shorter than the aperture.
Oh, I see. Oh, there's not a lot in it.
Because I've had to trim the bottom.
Yes.
So that is being corrected. But I'd rather say, but if you print it at 105%, it will work. But you're not going to have the die before the file is right in your account.
Exactly, this is it. So there's no point in downloading it and printing it off. Now, of course, we've spoken about all the different aspects of the dies that you've got within the one-day special, but it's what happens when you put them all together. You have got the most exquisite cards. I mean, these are beautiful. I mean, look at that.
That's from Helen.
Beautiful.
I've got to say, all I've had as well is we've had Helen, Maxine, Margaret, and Sam, I think, are the only angels who've had this.
Really?
Because
they created all of these?
We've had to fly this in, and there are so many here and more underneath. And this one of Helen's, I've got to say thank you so much for them, because they've worked so hard in less than 2 weeks to do this.
Amazing, absolutely
We've pulled
amazing.
it together very quickly.
But it kind of shows you the quality of the dies, because if you've got the right dies, then of course then you can create those beautiful projects. Again, the bottles, you can use them in a whole host of different ways, and then those flowers, you're going to be using them with all your other elements that you've got within your craft stash as well. Now, if you want to get the dies by themselves, then you can do, but don't forget you have got a saving with regards to your one-day special, and you've got your flexi buy on these. Now, the dies by themselves, you can see the anemone leaves there, £11.99. You've got 10 dies in that one. But of course, it's included within your one-day special. And of course, with your one-day special, you get the download. Now, it's an exclusive download. You can't get hold of it anywhere else other than the one-day special. And it's worth £4.99 in its own right as well. So if you're wanting this, the details are on your screen, 385713. Now, we've got other things that we need to share with you. Very briefly, let me mention the fabulous linen cardstock. You found this this already. I'm so glad that you're shopping ahead. This is absolutely beautiful. Bumper pack, as you can see here, absolutely gorgeous cardstock. We'll chat about this as the hour goes on, but you're going to get 10 each of those, 5 different colours there, but 40% of the stock has gone. I love that array of blues that you've got there as well. If pinks and purples are more your thing, then we have those available for you. Different item number, I believe, with these ones, but 40% of the stock has gone. Oh my goodness, what a gorgeous colour palette. They look absolutely amazing. So again, if you wanted to go for one, then it would be rude not to ask add the other in. And don't forget, if you're adding them in alongside your one-day special, you can spread the cost. But we have a happy hour deal. Now, this is a cracking deal. You've got a half price deal with regard to your Eye inks. Now, what you are going to get is a bundle of 10, and colours may vary with these, John. They will, yeah. There is a selection of about 25 or 30 colours. Okay. And obviously, when we're doing it together for a happy hour, they will put them. They're just going to pick 10 of those, but they are going to make sure you get a decent mix. They're hand-picked. I always say this, but you know from last night, they're hand-picked by Penny, Lisa, and Jane. You know, you're not going to get 2 browns. You're not going to get, you know, so they're going to try. They'll try their hardest. Don't they? They do. Yeah. They bless them. To be fair, all of them are in packing today. Already? My goodness! Wow. Because we've had shows already. They've actually gone in this morning, and they've been packing all day today. I mean, there's how much these people care. But they will, you know. So I can't guarantee what colours or mix you're going to get, but these you are saving so much. You're saving so much, because to be honest with you, I think these were more than £1.99. Well, the thing is, we've got that price there of £19.99, which gives you a half price, so you're saving a tenner on these. And I know that you love the Eye inks. We're looking at pigments with regards to these. Yeah, these are perfect. The reason we've done these are perfect with your flowers, because they will give you opaque when you're tipping them. And I'm going to be using the minis we've got on the show to actually put some colour to my flowers through the shows. Wonderful. So they're absolutely perfect because they give you that opaque colour. They're also perfect because the next happy hour at 8 o'clock is the media plate frames. John, you naughty boy. These work perfectly with the media plate frames. Oh, so it's a case of get these to work the next one. I love it. Now, nearly 20% of the stock has gone. I'm not going to let go of that because I can see that they're not lined up properly. But that will just give you an idea of some of those gorgeous colours that are going to be available to you. We don't know exactly how they're going to fall with regard to your little bundle, but to be honest, I'd be going for a couple of these because there are so many different variations. You may end up with a couple of doubles, but it's not a problem at all. They're colours that you're going to be using, and they are such a brilliant price, and it's worth going for. Details on your screen, but they are proving to be very popular. Now, talking about being really popular, a one-day special, nearly 40% of the whole day's stock has gone. So I think we better get a bit of a jog on and head over to John. But of course, everything that you need to know is on your screen. If there's anything you want to know, then email in studio@thecraftstore.com. So, what are we up to next? Well, I'm going to shuffle a little bit at first, just to get you to understand a little bit. Okay, yeah, go for it. But then I'm going to cut and demo, I promise. But I want to show you here. So, working through these edger dies, all I've done is I've taken the 5 colours of the blue pack of linen, and I've cut it to 5 by however long it is, which is 8 1/4 inch. I happen to know A4 sizing in my head. And I literally, on this one, I cut one of the edger dies. Yeah. Which gives me those 2 pieces. I then took the matching plain and I cut that from white to go behind. Okay. But what I get is, you know, we talked about a twofer. So there is the start of one card. There is the start of a second card. Oh, I see, right. I then did the same with the next colour down and just cut the die bang in the middle. Yeah. Perfect. So there, you see how those stack? Got you, yes. Like waves. Oh, and look, those stack. I can put that white in. Yeah. That is brilliant. I then took the next colour down, which is, this is my first favourite in the blues. Your first favourite, I like that phrase. This is the brand new turquoise. This is a brand new colour to the country. Okay. Oh, okay. You have 10 sheets there. I do, yeah. Until Friday, those are my sheets. Those are 10 sheets of mine. Oh, right. They are the only ones that we had in the country till Friday morning. Now, let's talk about the linen cardstock, because you were saying about this is manufactured in Holland. This is manufactured in Holland. They source the card across Europe. Okay. But the actual linen, this is what we call a real linen card. And I don't know if you can get into it, but can you see, it's easier perhaps to show you on the lighter colour. Can you see the linen texture? I'm never sure if it comes across. Oh, yeah, I think we've just about got it there. Yes. Yeah, but it's both sides. Oh, right, okay. This is not made this way.
This card is made as a flat colour.
Okay.
It then goes through a very expensive machine that linens it on both sides and gives it that beautiful full linen finish.
Beautiful.
And what they do is they source the plain card across Europe exclusively.
Okay.
And then they put the linen pattern on for us in Holland. And then we have it shipped over to us.
And there you go.
There
Marcus
you can see
has
it
hit
better.
the spot there with that shot there. Absolutely beautiful. You can see there that linen texture coming through. Of course, as John's mentioned, you're going to find that on both sides of your cardstock as you work with it. But what a beautiful array of colours. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, of course, you've got two different colour options with these. That one is your blue, and you're going to get your blue, your should I say your light blue, your baby blue, your turquoise, your stone, and your jeans. Now, you're going to get 50 sheets in there. So it's 10 repeats of each of those 5 colours. And you can see there the flowers across the bottom from your one-day special die look absolutely beautiful. But we've got a second colour option for you as well, and this one is beautiful. As you can see there, you've got all of those gorgeous colours featuring in there, and again you've got that linen texture coming through in these, and to be honest, both of them are worth going for. So you can see there with this one, you've got your violet, you've got your aubergine, you've got your fuchsia, your flamingo, and your old pink as well. 50 sheets again, you're going to get 10 repeats of each one of those. So you've got 50 sheets in total, again £16.99. Now if I was you, I would be going for both of those, because when you get one of these sets, you'll be kicking yourself that you didn't go for the other set, and they are such phenomenal value for money. They will become a firm favourite of yours. And of course, if it's a card that John's using within his demonstrations and obviously with the finished samples, you know it is a quality. Look at the linen texture that you've got in this. Absolutely beautiful. It's not often we see it in a colourway, and this is a colourway that goes right the way through. It's not a coating that's sitting on top of a white cardstock. It is right the way through, as John has mentioned. Absolutely brilliant value for money. And if you're wanting yours in your gorgeous kind of violet, aubergine, fuchsia, flamingo and old pink, then you need to be aware that 60% of actually both options has gone. So very, very busy with regards to these ones. So if you want to make sure that you get hold of yours, then please get involved as soon as you can with the details on your screen, and of course add in the blue as well. So John, back over to you.
In the pinks, by the way, it's 4 brand new colours.
Oh, I see. Okay, right.
We've never brought any of these. We might have brought a couple of the blues on before, but the rest of them, the pinks, these are brand new colours to a show, but brand new colours to the country.
Wow.
We haven't had them in the range before.
Oh, exciting.
So, and basically, I'll finish this very quickly. I cut the next die down, again from the same piece, giving me another piece and another piece for my waist.
Lovely.
I cut the final, which I think is the light blue. This time, because there are 2 of these dies. Now you would say, well, John, why have you given us 2 of the same die? Look, they're not.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, no, so they're not.
Because every curve is hand-drawn by me. I made sure that they can curve off. So you've got more scope.
Nice
You've
idea,
got more options. So that's the second one. So that gives us a final on that. And then literally all I do, there is a video of this. These are the pieces from the video.
Okay.
So if you want more detail of making this, on a 5x7, there is a beautiful wave carved front done. There, I'm going to turn that white over. There is the waist. So 2 cards from one, from a 5-inch strip from each of the 5 pieces.
That's clever.
Just using the edges. And I will show you in the proper demo just how easy they are to cut and how easy they are to line up.
I love it. We're incredibly busy for these. So just as John gets himself ready for his proper demo, as he says, let me remind you of the details. It's a one-day special launching here at 6 o'clock. And of course, you've got your brand new dies. Now, of course, these have only just reached the UK. So it's an amazing deal. But so many of you have been looking forward to this one. So much so that over 40% of the stock has gone. Now, with this one, you have got your series of die sets with your gorgeous flowers. You've got your fabulous leaves in there, as well as the bottle, and of course those fabulous edges that John's just taken us through. But what you've got in addition to that is you have got obviously your download to work with these. Now lots of you are shopping for individuals, which is okay, that's not a problem, but what you need to be aware of is if you want to take advantage of the saving and that download, you need to be going for the one-day special in order to get that additional kind of £4.99 saving with your download. The edges, these are proving to be popular by themselves. Now if you're wanting to go for these by themselves, you can see that they're £12.99. And don't forget, you're getting your 6 dies, giving you all those different combinations, hand-drawn, to give you kind of, not, I wouldn't like to say an irregular edge, because the irregular edge makes it sound like it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But they're not kind of computer generated, let's say, with regards to those. So those are your borders, £12.99, 018365. If you're going for these by themselves, just be aware, or you're wanting to, that nearly half the stock has gone. So that's those dies by themselves. They are still within the one-day special, but even with the one-day special, you're looking at, was it nearly 40% of the stock, did you say earlier on? Over 40% now. Sorry, I'm a bit slow with my updates.
On the individuals, we always put lots on.
You do?
Because I don't want to disappoint anyone. We never do that, just a few to push it in.
Yes.
I'm genuinely shocked.
Yeah.
Because I know how many individuals there were of that.
That's right, yeah.
I'm genuine, but please don't think that that's been done just to push it to that, because it hasn't. We've dropped, we put tons on there. We really did.
Yeah, there's lots. We've got queues building as well. So that is your first die. Now, the next one that you've got is the Fabulous Celebration one. So the wine time one. This is brilliant. As you can see here, you've got, obviously, your bottle, which I think would make a fabulous little tag as well, because you could use that for a gift, couldn't you?
You could. It's the perfect size to be a gift tag. You can do it for Christmas, for any occasion. This is wine time. It's got wine time in there. We called it that after my friend Jodie.
Lovely.
Because my friend Jodie from Tonic has wine time.
She does, yes.
Yeah. So I did say to her, about 6 months ago, I said, I've named a die for you. And she didn't believe me. So if you're watching, Jodie, this is wine time. But I think it's such a good phrase to use as a sentiment on things. And this is such a useful set. And again, there's a video on it showing you how to lay them all out and cut them out. But the bottle is so easy to use. But the bottle has been my standby for men's cards for years. Because cut the bottle out in green, stick 60 on it, 70 on it, 75
that's a really
on
good
it.
point, actually.
Put some stars coming out of the top, and there's your men's celebration card done in 10 minutes.
I love that. And there's loads of ways you can work with this. I mean, you can use all of your different techniques, which I think is a brilliant idea. Like your glazes to give that glossy look as if you've actually got wine in there. I love this. Or maybe it's a celebratory birthday, and there you go. As John said, one of those go-to dies, isn't it? Then, of course, you have got, incidentally, I was supposed to be telling you individually, wasn't I? I was getting carried away. If you're wanting that one by itself, £12.99. The details are on your screen. Sorry, Lottie, what was the update on that one? Nearly 20% of the stock has gone of that one individually. So again, another very popular one. But again, it's one that's featuring within your one-day special. Now, don't forget, you've got your anemone petals and your leaves. These are 2 separate dies when you're looking at them in the one-day special. But these are incredibly useful. We kind of glossed over the leaves a little bit when we were chatting.
Yeah, and what I did is I looked at a picture of anemone leaves.
Okay.
When I drew these. I didn't take I'll be honest, I didn't take the picture and sort of, try and draw around, because I can't do that. Okay. I looked at a picture and went, it looks kind of a bit like that.
Inspired by them,
yeah, I wanted it to look like the leaves you get with an anemone, but I wanted them to work because I thought this die, when I was drawing, would make a perfect poppy.
Nice, yes.
I wanted them also, because of the wine time, if you do them in the right green, they look like vine leaves. So you can use them round as a vine leaf, and you can use them with the wine again, and it works really, really well.
I love it.
So they're tied all together, and you can never have enough foliage, but I've not done anything that shape before.
Yes, yeah.
And I always try and make sure I'm trying my hardest not to repeat.
Yes, yeah.
Just for the sake of it. I try not to do any vanity dies.
I love it. Now, the leaves have been a popular one by themselves, and you can understand why, because when you're actually using them to support the flowers from the one-day special, they look incredible, but they will be a useful die for you to have as well. If you want your anemone petals, your flowers, then this one is available as a die by itself for £14.99, but nearly a third of this one alongside the leaves, which is a similar sort of quantity, has gone. Don't forget, they are both within the one-day special, and of course you've got that saving within the one-day special, so if you are thinking about going for both of them, then do consider going for the one-day special, because of course you've got your £5 saving and you've got your download, which you'd normally be paying £4.98 for. So yeah, it's worth going for, isn't it? At 385713, some absolutely incredible finished samples with regards to these, teaming up the bottles with the flowers, bringing the leaves into play with these as well. They will become firm favourites, because the beauty is with regards to these, and of course look at that, I love that idea of the borders being used there, but actually being used to create almost like a frame with that. Isn't that a clever idea? Love that one.
That's Hazel. I forgot to mention Hazel earlier.
Is she the one that I could see you racking your brain for names.
I'm sorry, Hazel. And I always call her Hazel Bainbridge, and it's not. It's Hazel Brainbridge.
Oh, okay.
So I spelt it wrong on her stamp on the back.
Oh, did you?
But she did forgive me, and people may remember Hazel from demoing on Create and Craft many years.
I do remember Hazel, yeah.
So I was very lucky to get Hazel. But that card and quite a few of hers were, she just cut them and saw what she could do, and it was the scrap bits. So she said that card was made with the scrap bits when she was cutting off all the pieces.
That's clever, because it looks like she's built up a frame beautifully.
Exactly. So
very clever. Can we talk happy hour? Of course, happy hour, a deal we've got for you. It's a bit of a lucky dip with regards to these. You're going to get 10 of your eyes ink and pigment ink pads. Slow drying, so very, very useful with regards to these. Now, over half the stock has gone. Now, if you are choosing to go for these now, then obviously you've got that £10 saving. If we have stock available for you after the show, then they will still be available, but you're looking at pretty much double the price with regards to these. It's a bit of a lucky dip, but the guys at Crafts2 will be very good when they are choosing those options for you, because they pick these individually, so they will look at different colours that come together perfectly, and of course lots of those colours are going to be perfect for when you come to doing things like your petals and of course your foliage as well. So you'll get 10 of these. Usually be paying £19.99, which to be honest is a brilliant price anyway, but I would much rather be paying just £9.99 for these, and they are all sealed as well, so if you do decide that you're going to go for these and not necessarily use them straight away, then you know that they are pretty much airtight with regards to the storage of these, so they're going to last until you're ready to use them. That gorgeous yellow, hopefully you'll get that one. Oh, there goes the wine bottles. Glad, thankfully they haven't broken. Now of course, if you wanted to go for your one-day special, then obviously it can be added in things like your happy hour deal, but nearly half the stock of the happy hour deal has gone, so please make sure you're doing it as soon as you possibly can. And ironically, or not so ironically, nearly half the stock of the one-day special has gone. This is supposed to launch tonight and run for a period of 24 hours. It's just about halfway through the first show. Don't worry, we are going to get to demo with John in just a few moments, but I just want to give you a little bit more inspiration from the fabulous design team. Check these out. Aren't they fabulous? I'm glad that we've got that little video, because there's so many finished samples here, and not wanting to take up all the time showing off everything, then yeah, it's good that we see them up close. I'm going to head over to John very quickly though. We are nearly limited stock with regards to the card in both of those bundles, so make sure you're checking your baskets out with regards to those. That
was lovely. That I've not seen that clip before.
Oh, you not? Isn't it lovely?
And to see that and see how well the linen shows now, it shows. It, to me, it makes cards look so much more expensive than just flat. It's got a real luxury finish, that little bit of thing on it. So.
Oh, we've had a question come from Leonie, not our Leonie. There are more than one Leonies out there. She's asking about how long the length the strip dies. So
5 inches.
There you go.
I'm just about to go through that now.
Perfect. I'll let you carry on then.
So I based everything on 5x7 or 5x5. I find myself making a lot smaller cards. People may remember when I first started, I think it was Sue Wilson actually said, I make large cards, but have you seen John's? Some of mine were 9x9 and 10x10.
Oh my goodness,
I made massive cards. I find myself every year coming in a little bit. I think it's as I get cheaper with my cards.
Is that what it is?
So what I've done here is, this is a piece of white linen card, and I've cut this to 5x5. So everything is based around that, but as I said, I'm cheap. And the idea is I've done this to 5x5 because this will be the front, but this will be the front of a 5x7 card.
Okay.
And that's where this works so well. So I can make a piece of card I can get 2 or 3 out of into a whole front.
Clever.
So I'm going to take the main one here, which is this swoop with the dots each side.
Okay.
And it couldn't be, but you see what I mean about 5 inches?
Yes.
And I can decide wherever, so I'm going to make that a little bit lower and literally overhang it a bit, don't bother trying to line it up. But could you imagine trying to line 3 dies up with 2 rows of dots and a single? I'm sorry,
and
life's
it's all well
too
and good
short.
lining them up, but then when you're actually transporting them over to your die cutting machine, they can shift without you even knowing about it. So it's only when you've actually put it through your die cutting machine and opened it up that you realise that they've actually moved a bit.
Yeah, it is, and it's so, you think, oh, and you're wasting, and you don't want to waste. So I bring that out, you can see there, it cuts through perfectly. All those dots are not emboss or deboss lines.
Okay.
Every single one of them is a cut line. Yeah. So each one is a cut line.
Lovely.
So they will pop out.
Got you.
That you won't have to start scraping from the back or anything.
Okay.
But this is actually, after I'd prepped this demo, I learnt a trick.
Oh, okay, right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of, let's go for this lovely salmon colour, just to show you this.
Okay.
Because when you've bought really beautiful card, you don't want to waste it.
Yes.
And what I did for this one is I cut some pieces bigger.
Right.
Okay. And I only get 2 out of an A4 sheet.
Yeah.
But you can get it a lot better. So I'm going to take my guillotine.
Right.
What I'm going to do is, we all know half of a piece of card is roughly 5 3/4 or nearly 6.
Okay, yeah.
So I always tend to cut it down.
Right.
That would only give me 2 of these squares, but I learnt if I turn that over and cut it into an A6 piece at 4 1/8,
Right.
that will work just as well for what I'm about to do.
Okay.
Meaning I get 4 pieces out.
Brilliant.
So 1 sheet of A4 card will give you, with these edges, 4 pieces, enough for 4 card fronts.
So you're kind of cutting it into quarters vertically and
Cutting
horizontally.
it into quarters, and of course that's the perfect size for your flowers.
Yes.
And your leaves, all 10 dies, if you arrange them
That's
carefully,
true, yeah.
will fit on that. So you're basically going to, it's so much cheaper.
Yes.
Because if you're going to pay a decent price for card, I mean, I think that's a cracking price for linen card.
Yeah.
But when you're going to pay that, you've got to get the most out of it. You know, I am, like I say, I'm cheap. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add some colour behind. And all I'm going to do is just take another piece. And if you notice, I've made it bigger. And it's because this is the first demo I prepped as I was learning. I know now I don't need to. So I'll tell you what, I'll bring one of those smaller pieces in. I don't need to go all the way for this one.
Okay.
So get that right, okay. So I'm just going to roughly place that down, roughly in half.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the plain die on its own,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to lay that down and I'm going to cut that. You don't have to get it right, you don't have to line it up, you don't have to be skilled.
Right.
You just literally like that. I'm going to run that through really simply.
Wonderful. I'm very briefly going to mention your cardstock incidentally as well. Both of the options are actually limited in stock. So the blue obviously being one of your options, the details of which are on your screen. John is obviously working with the pink, which is your second option. Different item number though. So if you wanted to go for the blue, then obviously the details that were on your screen. If you wanted to go for your violet, aubergine, fuchsia, flamingo and old pink, then that is that particular one, and that is £16.99, but it's limited stock. So both of them, lots of you are going for both of those, to be honest. So yeah, take the details on your screen, get them into your basket, but make sure that you do check your basket out quickly, because you could miss out on some of these. And each of the bundles, so if you're going for the blue, you're going to get 10 repeats of each of the 5 colours. Similar sort of setup with regards to the others, but make sure you're checking your baskets out, because you could miss out on these very easily. So yeah, details are all on your screen. Sorry, John.
Okay, so it's fine. So I've cut that, and if you notice, it doesn't finish the edges.
Yeah.
It's a bigger piece. And now, to be honest, I would actually mount that on a card, and there's a slide for you.
I was going to say,
but I've got that as a demo.
Yeah, if you're into things like your penny sliders, that's a perfect one.
Oh, it would make you a perfect penny slider, wouldn't it? I must learn how to make one of those.
Penny
I've still
sliders,
never made
perfect.
one.
But memory pockets as well in your little albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So all I have to do, I put a bit of spray glue on, but can you see? So if I want to put a colour behind, how easy is that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If
That's
I want to
pretty.
put a colour in front, which I'll do on this one, I'm going to play.
Okay.
Change the card I was doing and just play, basically. If I want to put a colour on the front, I can. I'm not bothered about that because I'll cover it with another piece.
Yes.
And all you do is take your scissors and trim it off. Instead of trying your hardest, you know what I mean, to get things lined up right.
Yes.
If you use this, we're only using an
yourself,
A6 piece of card for this. We're not wasting anything.
That's true.
I'm wasting a couple of little extra scraps. And so then, cut that down. I've already got then something
Yes, nice.
completely different and wacky. And I'm going to mix colours that I would never do. Normally you would never see me using bright colours like this, but I fell in love with these. I put these card packs together.
Okay, yeah.
I've got a big wodge at home of different colours of card that we're hoping to get new. I've got like 3 sheets of each, so don't get excited.
Oh, bless you.
And I played and played until I got this mix, and I thought, oh, it's January. It's been so grey, all the decorations have come down. Let's have a bit of bright, shall we?
Chosen well with these.
So I'm going to go now, and you can just literally play. So I'm just going to take the next, and a different die in the set.
Okay.
I'm going to place it, I'm going to give it a longer front.
Do you suggest that when you get these dies home to do exactly this, get to know them?
Yeah, what I would do is, I would get, and I've said similar to for a long time, get a colour of card you hate.
Okay.
One you've gone off.
Well, that's a strong word.
Yeah? I shouldn't say hate, should I?
You don't like as much as the others.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you
Basically,
go.
get a colour card you've really got that you hate. We all do it. We're crafters. Come on. Cut them into sort of 5-inch strips.
Yeah.
And cut all of these into them.
Right.
And number 1, you'll see exactly what you can achieve.
Yes.
But number 2, you'll fall back in love with that colour.
That's true.
Because that's happened to me every time. When you suddenly see it cut, you go.
You look
because
at it as
I
different
can think, I
slant.
can look at that and go.
Yeah.
A year ago, I'd have gone, ooh.
Yes.
I cut that and I put that with that crisp white and I go, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, just that on its own.
Isn't it gorgeous?
A couple of flowers, you know.
Yeah.
So do that. That's the best thing to do. And the dies have been designed, first of all, so that they will fit through even the smallest machines.
Right, okay,
Everything that we've got on the show will fit through an A5 machine. You don't need a larger machine.
Lovely.
But also, we manufactured them with a coating. You know, we always tell you to go that way.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been done so well, you don't have to worry.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, we really go with the quality on these to make sure that it will work. So this has just gone straight through.
Perfect.
But if you're clever and careful...
Oh, John, sorry, we're a bit quick there.
If you're clever and careful, pick those up with some transfer
Oh,
tape
yes.
and stick them on.
I'm just looking as well, and I'm thinking, if you've got a long strip of cards, say like the length of your A4 sheet, say you're looking at doing like a scrapbook page,
Yeah.
you could almost make a big long pocket, couldn't you, the length of your A4 sheet, by moving that die along. I know it's not designed to kind of connect together.
No, it will connect.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh, right,
It will connect.
okay.
I drew it. I've got a
Right.
demo tomorrow where I've actually kept the main one, and it goes and then it carries on.
Fair
and
enough.
it will meet exactly.
Because you've drawn it, I didn't
Because
think
I've
you'd
drawn
do
it.
it.
Yeah, you'd think no.
Right.
You know what I'm like? I'm so retentive when it comes to some things.
I love
I
it.
want the most out of
You
it. So
just
yeah,
want
it
it
was
right.
designed. These were actually designed as well so that you could click that end circle back in and carry it on. You may need to meet it off a little bit with a knife.
Yes.
But again, these will continue on as well down
Love
the
it.
road if you want to do that. So
They're
go there,
such a versatile
and then I can
set.
go there, and you just click that circle into that one and carry it on. And that's just one die.
I know, there's so much within
I've
it.
cut that one. I'm going to grab one of the cloudy ones and cut. All I'm going to do now is just cut. I've got 2 more colours. I'm going to cut each die in those 2 colours. If there's something else you want to cover for a minute, just so it's
Well,
not boring watching me just run this through the machine.
I'm just looking. I'm actually thumbing my way through all these fabulous finished samples, but I have got a little bit of an update with regards to the linen cardstock. So this is quite an important update as well. The 2 options that we've got have sold out. So thank you to everybody that took advantage of those. We're still trying to find out whether we can get any more stock of this. Now, if it does come back, then it potentially will be on extended delivery. How long that will be, we don't know. So at the moment, for the time being, we're going to say that the stock has sold out. By all means, keep a note of that item number and try it perhaps tomorrow. John's going to be back again, so we'll have more news on this one. But with the one day special, my goodness, half of the stock has gone. It's an amazing deal. It's fabulous. And I have to say, as John's been doing his demonstration now, I've had kind of one ear and one eye on what he's been doing, but I've been looking at the finished samples, and I have to say, my goodness, the angels are so fabulous with their ideas. Don't forget, if you're thinking to yourself, there's no way I can actually create that sort of result with my colouring in. If you're going for the one day special, then you will get those downloads that you can use over and over again. Of course, bear in mind, as John has said, don't download it until you receive your dies, because the download that we've got at the moment, it's kind of got a little bit lost in translation with regards to the size-wise. Perhaps if you print it off at 105%, you'll find that you're okay. But personally, I would just hang on. Don't be in too much of a hurry to print it off. Just wait.
Say on the download, sorry.
That's okay.
What I've done as well is if you pick those cards up,
These ones,
I
yeah.
don't have a printer at home that will print card.
Right.
And I see it so often on social
that's
media.
true, yeah.
What printer can I print card on? If you turn those over, I've spray glued them onto a piece of 250 GSM craft card. Yeah. If you've got a happy hour card, you know what I'm like for happy hour card.
Next hour's a good one.
Yeah. Get that, print it on your normal photocopy paper and spray glue it down onto a piece of card rather than putting expensive card through. Yeah. That is the cheapest than cheap because it's from in this building.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's the cheapest from cheap printer paper, printed out and then on a normal printer, and then it's literally just spray glued onto a piece of card. So don't think I've got to have a printer with card and no, don't. Just be cheap like me.
I love it. Means that you can actually create those cards just like Leslie's done with those bottles on there. And if you struggle to add your colour, take inspiration from Art Angel, because I'm sure she won't mind you taking inspiration from her artwork to help give you the confidence potentially for you to add your own colours as well. But of course, she's given us lots of choice with regards to those as well. As you can see, absolutely beautiful. Of course, within this collection, you are getting that fabulous download. You're also going to get the die, which I think I've put right at the bottom, which should probably be logical, wouldn't it? So the die that works alongside this one is this particular die. So of course, when you do download the die, download the printout, when you receive your die, you're going to be able to line it up and cut out those different images. Of course, John's been taking us through those fabulous borders that you're going to get within this set as well. And of course, in addition to that, you are getting your gorgeous anemone flowers with the fabulous leaves. And the beauty is the anemone flower is such a useful flower, because the way you work with those petals can give you so many different combinations, whether it's just a single kind of flat layer that you're wanting or whether you wanted to really build up the dimension. And the nature of the die means it will allow you, it cuts into those petals, so you don't have to get your ball tool involved, you don't have to kind of take ages and ages creating those flowers, because I know John too well to know that he wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't. I've spent hours doing it in the past and gone, this is too much faff. I'm sorry, I've got to do this 5 more times to give me a nice spray of flowers.
Yes,
no, I've not. And I've cut, there's so many flowers on the samples I've made and they've taken no time at all, but there are 3 videos to show you how to make the flower in just 3 different ways on YouTube. It may be, because Sam's uploaded it, it could be 1 video in 3 parts, or it could be 3 videos.
Fair enough.
Because he's done all the technical work.
You just look for John Next Door.
Just go for John Next Door on YouTube, and you'll see the videos on there. We also put all of the craft store shows on there as well, so you can catch up on those as well on it.
Wonderful. Of course, your one-day special made up of your 4 different die sets, which are available individually, but to be honest, the way that most of you are going for them is with your one-day special. Your happy hour. Now, what sort of time have we got left? We've got 20 minutes left with regards to your happy hour, but what sort of stock update was that? Over 70% of the stock has gone. It's one of those situations, is it? Is it going to be the stock that goes, or is it going to be the clock? Well, I wouldn't risk it, because, to be honest, they are worth every single penny of that $19.99. But why would you want to spend an extra tenner if you don't have to? That's a tenner towards your one-day special, isn't it? Or maybe you've invested in your card stock, hoping to get more of that card stock, incidentally, but we don't know for certain, but we will keep you updated. But I will mention there's a couple of people didn't check out their orders in time. So there are a few that if you're quick, you can perhaps grab hold of those, but make sure you check your basket out. If you're one of those people that kind of looked away for a few moments, which of course after 10 minutes they will fall back into stock allocation, then yeah, you may well have missed out on those. But with regards to the ink pads, it's a bit of a lucky dip, so you might get some of the ones that we're looking at here, or it might be a case of you get different colours, but what you will get a hand-picked little bundle of 10 there, which are going to work together beautifully and perfect for your flowers. Now, something else that we've got to share with you as well, this lovely bundle. I haven't had a chance to show you these, but you will have seen them on some of the finished samples. Some lovely sentiments there, as you can see, stencil sentiments. £3 off with regards to these ones, £21.97. They'd look fabulous with that linen card, wouldn't they? You're going to get 24 of those dies there, all sorts of different wonderful occasions, as you can see there. And you kind of got your innies and your outies with those as well. Like those. 042523. Something else that's proven to be very, very popular is this beautiful die set here with your funky snow stars. Or we say stars, but I think they look a little bit like the little kind of, what are they called that go in the centre of the flower? Stamens, that's the word, yeah.
The idea, when I actually put this show together and I showed Jane the anemone, sorry, when I put the designs together, Jane went, your funky snow stars from Christmas would make the most perfect centres for those. So I thought, they work. that was the idea of when I designed them originally.
Yes.
So I know that hundreds of people have already got these, if not thousands, because I know how many we went through.
Yes.
We have put some on in case anyone missed them. But I love this. This to me shows what John Next Door's about.
Yeah.
This is a Christmas die that you will use to make yourself beautiful, funky 60s style or 50s style snowflakes. But again, put them with the anemone and you'll get flower centres. Don't ever put my dies away. They'll always work with something new coming or something old.
I love it. There you go. $7.99. I mean, how affordable is that one? At 760411. Now, I know some of you do like the dimension of those stamens, that you can kind of feed through the centres of those flowers, and we can help you with those as well. A couple of different bundles. You've got warm and cool with regards to those. So if you do want to get hold of those, then please do so. And you can see there you've got 120. My goodness, that is phenomenal value for money, isn't it? And sometimes they do make the difference with regards to your cards. Quite often these are the kind of things that you keep for your cards that are nearest and dearest, but when you're getting so many of them for just $14.99, you'll be whopping them on all of your cards. Absolutely beautiful. Like this card as well, because it's not only showing off the stamens, but showing you using those borders in a slightly different way. So 190257 if you're wanting to get hold of those. And again, they look beautiful in the centre of your card, and also on this one here as well, where you can see they kind of add that dimension.
Well, what she's done on that one as well, that's actually one. There's only one bunch of stamens been used on that card, one stem. She's cut the tops off and glued them in.
Oh.
So it's actually only one stamen has been used to do all flowers on that.
Clever.
So I think you get so many heads in each stamen bunch.
Got you. Now I'm just going to bring this one in. I didn't know there were the metallic ones in there as well.
Yes, you got the gold and silver as well.
Looking. Look at that.
Which I don't think we've ever done before. Normally they're separate.
That's why I kind of questioned it a little bit, because I was like, I'm tentatively picking up this card, but I don't know whether I should be. There you go, details on your screen there, 190257. So lots of other goodies you can be adding in as well. John, we better come back to you.
So I've cut these 3 squares with 3 of the dies, 2 different loopy ones and one of the loopy without the dots in it. Yeah, really simple. I'm just going to release them out, and effectively almost I'm going to play. So I've made all my pieces. You could do this with the 4 1/4 inch pieces. So you could do this with the shorter pieces. When I prepped this, I wasn't really thinking, and I really need to be careful because I don't have much of this aubergine card at all. And if it doesn't come back in, I won't be getting any more.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But, so again, I've got those 2 pieces, but I can go, right, will that one fit? Because don't forget, there's a different one for each one. So does that one fit that one? No, it doesn't. So it must be that that one fits that one. There it does.
Ah, okay,
yeah?
yes.
So give a little bit of a spray. And you'd never normally, a year ago, you wouldn't have seen me playing with these colours, but I just loved them so much. So there.
Isn't that lovely?
I just love that look. So here I've got the purple, but then the purple, of course, will fit on that pink.
Yes.
Even though that's not the same. And of course, I added another edge. So I've got that edge there, and I've got that edge there. So I can start to now build up and go, do you know what? I'll do this all flat.
Okay.
Now, I would do it with foam tape. You know I've got an addiction to foam tape.
Right.
But this will give you depth and dimension without the necessity of it. So a little bit of Craft Artist glue. And Craft Artist glue should be back, hopefully, fingers crossed, next Monday.
Okay. Oh, right, okay.
Along with the glue glaze that everyone wants. So again, use the line of the piece. So start with a 5x5 square. And that makes trimming this out. Or you can pop this in your guillotine if you're not a scissor person. You see straight away. I mean, that to me looks like a 70s cartoon.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, you can see a little character. Actually, I could see one of the Dolly Dimples little characters going along there. Just works so well. So again, this time, spray into the imaginary spray box that's been made specially for me, that's invisible to everybody else. It's not just into the air. I'm really sorry, Maddie. But again, see that, and this time I can pop that on there and just leave a little bit of that edge.
Nice, yes.
Yeah, so again, what I'm going to do is, if I glue that to that, I'm going to have glue everywhere.
Okay.
So don't glue this.
Right.
Because you glue that,
yes.
stick it down, and it will go in places where there is where you don't need it. So again, let's just move this around until I'm happy. This is what I love about the Craft Artist glue. it dries matte and clear, so it doesn't matter if I get those pieces on there. It's gone.
Perfect.
And when it's dry, it's gone. But again, it's not sticking down. So now, trim out to the white. Use your paper trimmer or your guillotine if you're not comfortable with scissors. And then I've got my 2 pieces.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, that's so funky.
And then I bring in, I've made my card blank. Well, I'll do that in a second. So now I've cut a piece of white. And again, if you don't have the white linen, and we will try to bring you the white real linen as soon as we can. But if you don't have it, just use a normal piece of white card. Let the linen, if you manage to get it, work. Little trick.
Okay.
Foam tape.
Yeah.
If it's not the foam tape, you know, that's like foam, if it's like the plasticky one, if you take the covering off both sides, it will turn a corner without creating creases.
Okay, right. Nice, good tip.
Because life's too short to be doing, I'm never going to do little dots.
Lots of little ones, no, don't do it.
So
don't
put that bang against the bottom of a 5 by 7 piece card, but you could start there and stamp something in there.
Do you know what else?
You wouldn't have to finish it off.
Those little holes that you've got there, you can actually use those almost like the centres of flowers and build up, use them as placement points if you wanted to kind of balance up your flowers as they're going through, or you could be threading ribbon through. Lottie, brilliant idea. Or even like, I was looking at the one where you had it at the top, and it could almost be like you've got little danglers, little charms and things like that coming off. You could hang little
charms from it. And there may be some little charm dies coming at some point that might hang off there beautifully.
Really?
In the future, who knows?
Now, I didn't know we were going to have that conversation that we haven't just had.
Because things come into my head just as it happens. If you actually look, I think there's a card in the last box in black and red.
Okay.
Or it may be in the second flower box towards the back, where I've used 2 of these together, and I've put red ribbon in between, made it like a corset.
Oh, okay.
So I lay these together.
We'll have a rummage.
Can you see now? I really love that. I just think that's so funky.
I like that.
And then.
Oh, I found it.
Really simply.
I found the card.
A little bit of foam tape on the back, and all I've done is, you could stop there, but I've made this into, I wouldn't normally put a piece across the middle like this, but I've made this into cut a piece to 5.5, 7.5, and then it being me, I've added mats and layers because I can't help it. So it actually ends up on a 6 by 8 card. But
perfect.
I put that on. And then I've made up, and I will show you if I get time in this show. If not, it will be at 8 o'clock. I've actually made 3 of the flowers in 3 of the colours using the white stamens. And I know that these, because of the stamens, will take a little bit while to take the glue. So it's one of those, you hold it for sort of like 10 seconds. But it will take that little bit longer because it's so heavy. So I'm not going to hold this one up. I'm sorry, Uncle Marcus, our director. Fine. But you can see there, and it's funky and it's different, and perhaps it's not what you'd expect, but I love that. Change your colours, go for the blues, and you'd have something just so subtle. But it's the idea of using, start with a 5 by 5 square, that your main piece, and then your other pieces can change size and fit around it.
I love it. Thank you, John. I've just been rummaging through the finished samples. There's some amazing finished samples. Obviously, John was talking about the bodice card, which I think is a brilliant idea, as you can see there, with that lacing being done with your ribbon going through the holes there, which I think is a really pretty effect. And of course, whether it's portrait, landscape, it doesn't matter. You're going to get a fabulous result with that. Can I show you one of the cards that I picked up? And I must admit, I nearly shrieked because it was just so clever. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? I love that.
I think that's our Maxine.
Isn't it brilliant? That is very, very clever. I don't know, I can't see a little name on there, but it's not an easy place to put a name on a card like that, is it? But have a look at this. If you've got any budding cricketers in your family or your circle of friends, that bottle, I think, is a brilliant idea. This one here, Art Angel, you are such a clever lady.
I have to be honest here. When we were looking through the samples and prepping for the show, Hayley said, could you elongate the bottle and make it into a cricket bat? And I picked up that sample and showed it her. So I have to be fair and say Hayley did come. I know you won't say it because someone else has done it, but Hayley came up with that idea, and then it's been done. I wasn't sure, because I'm not a cricketer. You potentially could tell that, I don't know. But I didn't know. Neither of us are built for cricket or any particular sport.
But I wasn't sure how long the handle was and the batty bit, so I wasn't too sure, but there you go. This one, I love this one as well, because this is kind of a traditional style, isn't it? But I love that. Definitely for you guys' cards, it's going to look amazing. amazing. And again, Art Angel, what a clever idea. It's almost like a message in a bottle with this one. Very much a kind of seaside theme with this one. Such a clever idea. Now, the beauty is, of course, with regards to your one-day special, you've got the die that will allow you to create all those fabulous shapes. You've got the download, which, of course, you can print off and cut out those as well. And then, of course, you've got the individual dies that are available should you want to go down that route. But let me take you through all the different elements that you've got within this one-day special. So you've got your edges. John's shown us this hour. I mean, we could have gone for several hours with these, the versatility, but nearly 2/3 of the stock has gone of these by themselves. Now, £12.99 is what you'd normally be paying for this one. Brilliant price because you're getting 6 dies in there, but of course it's within your one-day special as well. Continue to keep the details of the one-day special popping up on your screen because that's the way that most of you are shopping. Don't forget all of these dies you're seeing here. If you go to John Next Door YouTube channel, you'll find video tutorials to give you ideas and inspiration. The bottle die, this is such a brilliant idea because it's not just the bottle, you've got the labels on there, you've got the glasses, you've got the little essences there of the vine leaves as well, but nearly, what was the update on that one? Nearly 20% of the stock has gone of that one. Again, lots of you going for it within your one-day special. Don't forget, if you're wanting the download of the sheet, go for the one-day special because that's where you're going to find that. It's not available on its own. You can't buy that separately, and it's not available with the bottle by itself. Now, the Anemone Flowers, this is a really versatile floral die as well. You've got all those different dies in there, creating lots of different sizes, and it's a popular one by itself. £14.99, 966 373. Nearly 1/3 of the stock has gone of that one. Again, within the one-day special, it's been popular that way as well. And then, of course, you've got the leaves, and I love these leaves. Such a different style of leaves. Kind of remind me a little bit of leaves that you'd perhaps find with, is it a carnation that's got quite a spiky leaf as well?
Yeah, it's a buttonhole leaf.
Yes,
it's that sort of leaf that you'd use if you were making a buttonhole.
Exactly.
And again, these dies, these leaf dies and all the flower dies will cut on your foam, on your flower foam.
Oh, okay,
so you can make these out of the flower foam as well and stretch them and colour them and that sort of thing. There's so much more you can do with them. It's amazing. Well,
the thing is, with regards to these, I mean, you can see here how you've got the fabulous leaves, and they're quite a big, substantial leaf when you're looking at these ones. Absolutely amazing, as you can see. I love this one, and I love this because this is one of Paola's dies.
This is one of Miss P's, yes.
I love it, absolutely amazing. Then, of course, you've got this one here again, Sam. Busy, 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 creating beautiful flowers with regards to this one, as you can see.
And look how she's made a pocket, and it's the tag's popping out of that pocket in the circle. It's glued in.
Oh, I see, yes.
But it's in the pocket.
Oh, there's the border, yes, of course. I love that.
So clever.
Oh, red, white and blue, of course. Very much red, white and blue this year, isn't it, with the Jubilee and everything that's going on? But again, strip out those colours if you're wanting to, and you can see how you've got that little gorgeous craft card there. Now, you've probably noticed at the bottom of your screen, you have got all those different things popping around. My talkback's just popped out of my ear. So if you have a look at the bottom of your screen, you've got your happy hour deal. I'll tell you about that in a few moments. But of course, you've got your one-day special dies. John, why do we need these?
Because it will match with what you've got from the John Next Door range. It will match with what's coming in the John Next Door range. This was not the planned release for now.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter when I release them because everything works together.
Perfect.
This was going to be March, but this will work with what was going to be January that you might see at the end of February that might come in March. That's the whole point of John Next Door. It all works together. Did
you keep up with that? I'm not quite sure I did, but just get it. I think that's the key thing. Check out your baskets. We'll see you with more of this at 8 o'clock tonight.